If you've ever wondered why so many people today feel lost, lonely, and disconnected, despite living in a hyper-connected world, this episode of The Diary of a CEO with Dr. K is for you. Dr. K breaks down how modern society, with its reliance on social media, endless distractions, and quick-fix solutions, is contributing to a crisis of mental health. Whether you're feeling stuck or just curious about how to thrive in today's world, this conversation will leave you with practical insights to better understand yourself and those around you. Here are 5 actionable insights from the episode. Start with inner healing. Instead of trying to solve external problems like financial or relationship issues, focus on addressing the emotional wounds beneath them. Dr. K advises that lasting change only happens when you tackle the root causes, not just the symptoms. Break the cycle of dopamine overload. Our constant use of social media and digital devices is exhausting our brain's dopamine reserves, making it harder to find joy in real-life experiences. Take regular breaks from technology to reset your brain and restore your natural sense of pleasure. Rebuild real-world social skills. Texting and online interactions are eroding our ability to handle in-person communication, which fuels social anxiety. Make an effort to engage more in face-to-face conversations to strengthen the parts of your brain that make you feel comfortable in social settings. Heal unresolved trauma. Trauma, even if it's hidden or long buried, can be the biggest obstacle to reaching your full potential. Dr. K emphasizes that acknowledging and working through past emotional pain is key to unlocking progress in every area of your life. Look within for solutions. Many people, especially men, are conditioned to believe that success lies in external achievements, like wealth or physical appearance. Dr. K encourages a shift in focus. Most of the work needed to improve your life involves internal growth and self-awareness, not external validation. In this episode featuring Dr. K, a key point discussed is the detrimental impact of pornography on mental health, particularly in relation to dopamine regulation. Dr. K highlights that pornography consumption is a dopamine disaster because of how it hijacks the brain's reward system, leading to significant long-term consequences for emotional well-being and motivation. Dr. K explains that the brain's dopamine system, which is responsible for feelings of pleasure and motivation, becomes exhausted when exposed to hyperstimulating activities like pornography. This can lead to a diminishing ability to feel pleasure from everyday activities, creating a cycle where individuals seek out more extreme forms of stimulation to achieve the same dopamine highs. Over time, this can result in a decrease in overall life satisfaction and even contribute to issues like depression, social anxiety, and an inability to form deep, meaningful connections with others, including romantic relationships. He describes how this overuse of dopamine leads to a form of dopamine burnout, where normal experiences no longer provide the same sense of fulfillment, leaving individuals feeling purposeless, disconnected, and even more reliant on artificial sources of pleasure like pornography. This issue is particularly relevant to men, whom Dr. K observes are increasingly struggling with social isolation, addiction, and a lack of purpose. He stresses that many men turn to pornography and similar behaviors as a way to cope with emotional or psychological pain, but instead of solving their problems, it deepens the cycle of addiction and loneliness. Dr. K advocates for a deeper understanding of the root causes behind these behaviors, encouraging men to explore internal solutions such as addressing trauma, emotional health, and self-regulation, rather than seeking external short-term fixes. In addition to his critique of pornography, Dr. K discusses the broader TikTok-ification of mental health, where platforms like TikTok and other social media sites trivialize or oversimplify complex mental health issues, contributing to misinformation and unhealthy coping mechanisms like pornography addiction. He emphasizes that breaking the cycle of addiction, whether it's to pornography, social media, or other dopamine-driven behaviors, requires not just eliminating the behavior, but addressing the deeper emotional and psychological factors behind it. This episode serves as a critical analysis of how modern society, through the rise of technology, pornography, and instant gratification, has contributed to a dopamine crisis leaving many, especially men, feeling addicted, lonely, and without purpose. Dr. K's message is clear. True healing comes from understanding and addressing the internal drivers of these behaviors, not just from eliminating the behaviors themselves.